Okay, perfect, perfect. Okay, so please introduce us to who you are.
Oh, my bad. Let me just adjust my phone. Got it hooked up to the charger. What's up, everybody? My name is Quan. I go by Chef Beanz. I created something called intentional consumption, helping people be intentional not only what they physically consume, but the content they consume, the conversations they have, and the energy that they ingest. I'm from New Jersey, but I currently live in Los Angeles, California, and I'm happy to be here.
So, cliche question, I'm sure you get this all the time. So let's get this out the way. Where did the chef beans come from?
My,
Oh
my bad, my bad. My phone's hooked up to the charger.
no!
Use a little ingenuity. So the chef beans came from my nickname was Q Beans in high school, and then as I transitioned through college and after college, I was at a cookout, and one of my frat brothers was vending, and I didn't have any paraphernalia. And one of my frat brothers was like, "Hey, I have a few chef hats." I put on the chef hat. People stopped calling me Q Beans and started calling me Chef Beans. I use Chef Beans as a metaphor for everything else that I was cooking up creatively, whether that was content or different conversations I was having. I just kind of turned Chef Beans into a character. Then when I was randomly working at a job that I felt like I was dormant at and I needed to take my talents to the next level, I realized my creativity was the one thing that gave me inexplainable joy. And Chef Beans was the perfect avenue to help traject that into the stratosphere that I'm in now.
Okay, cool, cool. That's so cool. I love hearing people's origin stories. It's literally my favorite thing. So you're from New Jersey and you live in LA. Did you drive across the country?
Yeah, I did drive across the country. It took me about 2 weeks. I could have got there faster, but I wanted to make an adventure out of it. I stopped in a bunch of different cities like Detroit, Chicago, Akron, Ohio, Pittsburgh, a few different places, and I learned something different from each city. So I'm happy that I was able to embark on that journey.
What was your favorite city?
My favorite city was Detroit. Well, honestly, I like different things in different cities, but Detroit was interesting because of Hitsville. So growing up, I'm pretty sure we all saw the Temptation movie. We saw Hitsville, so I made it my duty to stop by there. And I just remember them breaking down how Barry Gordy created Hitsville, how he was working at a car factory, and how they would take these rundown cars and transition or transform them into state-of-the-art cars. He left that factory and took that same headspace like if I can transmute talent into world class talent, then I'll be one of the best people in the world. He did that with Stevie Wonder, the Supremes, and all these other different people. So that kind of inspired me to always think outside the box as far as what it is that I'm trying to transmute and attract.
Cool, cool, cool. So what made you want to go to LA in the first place?
Uh, it kept reoccurring. I'm very big on science. I was reading a lot of different books at that time, like The Way of the Superior Man, The Alchemist, and they always spoke about omens and identifying signs. So once I got into this space and I was very unbalanced, I prayed for clarity and direction. LA kept reoccurring, and I was actually nervous about telling my parents what I was about to do. And right when I was about to talk to my brother, like, "Yo, what kind of schools are you thinking about going to?" Because he was about to be a senior. He was like, "Honestly, for some reason, UCLA keeps popping up on my mind." So without me even telling anyone, my brother bringing up UCLA, that was the last sign that I needed. And I didn't have it all figured out, but I told myself, I'm gonna just fail my way forward, and if it's for me, then it'll be for me. So that's why LA popped up. It just kept reoccurring, and I just took that leap.
Were you scared at any point, like driving across the country?
Yes. The only time where I got scared was I made a wrong turn and I saw a bunch of different signs saying like make America great again, all these other different stuff. And I'm like, here I am with these jersey plates, mad stuff in the car, looking like a tourist, and I just didn't want to be on the wrong side of someone trying to act crazy because I know how I respond to conflict, and I just know I went back down in the situation. So that was the only time when I felt a little anxiety. But other than that, oh no, one other time. It was some really tiny roads, like driving up like through the mountains that didn't really have the white lines on the side of the road. So I felt like I was driving cross country, like not cross country, but on dirt land. Those were the only two times. Other than that, it was a pretty blissful ride.
Nice. Cool, 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 cool. So you're also a poet.
Uh, I guess I I guess you can say that. I mean, I really enjoy just using words. I would more so call myself a storyteller. I like telling stories and I like captivating people. I do enjoy poetry, primarily like spoken word, slam poetry. So, I mean, I guess it's in the eye of the beholder. I don't really have a label to what I do. I just like planting seeds in people and watching things grow.
Wow.
I'm into agriculture. Yeah, let's give it that. I'm into agriculture. I like planting seeds and watching them grow.
Wow. What did you study in college?
Media production.
This makes sense now. So speaking of media production, let's talk about the Transparency series.
Ooh,
What is that?
transparency. So, transparency is is a series that I created that honestly ignited in my mind after I got out of a relationship in 2017/18. I remember sitting to myself and saying, I don't think we ever really knew each other. I think when we met,
Yeah.
introduce whatever parts of ourselves that we thought were compatible with the other. And when people do that, you're trying to be, it's like a stranger trying to tell a stranger how to get to know a stranger. So if you don't know yourself, how can you communicate your standards to someone else? So I say all that to say the question ignited in my mind as far as what if we were both very when we first met each other? Like we did the work, we did the self-reflection. What would that look like? And then my mind went from what would that look like from a relationship to what would that look like from a single parent? What would that look like from someone who experienced domestic violence or someone who's not over their ex or love at first sight? My mind started bouncing and I just shot my shot. I said, let me put this into physical content form and see where it goes. So the first season was more so me throwing darts at a target. The second season, I was kind of forced to do it myself due to quarantine, but I just told the story of someone experiencing a long distance relationship. And this season now, oh, we're back. Yeah, I would say through my own personal journey, I realized that I fell in love with my pen. So now I'm just writing whatever character comes to mind. And that's what transparency is. The overall objective is to help people see what transparency looks like so that they can be transparent with themselves and be more reflective.
So you write everything yourself.
Yes.
That's very and wow. I guess it's a combination of great writing and great actors. Cause like listening to it, it doesn't sound like they're reading anything from a script.
So what I like to do with some actors as well. So let's say I create the character, right? And the characters are inspired by the people that I meet in my everyday life. I would ask the person or the actor, what are you going through dating wise from the highs to lows? Let's say they give me a couple of things. If I feel as though I can incorporate it in the script, I do. If not, I just give them what I already have written. But I do want it to have pieces of them in it. Because inadvertently, I do feel like they are the actual person, but at the same time, I also just write things from scratch. And I just take it from there.
You're definitely executing that. I can definitely feel that. It feels more like a documentary.
Thank you. And the season about to turn up. I just gave people. There's a lot more to come. A lot more to come.
Okay, okay. I'm looking forward to it. So other than that, you do sometimes you're outside speaking.
Right.
What is that?
Pick up my charger. Sorry about that.
No, you're fine.
When I'm outside speaking, so I'm a part of a run club called Keep It 100, and it's based out of here in LA and Inglewood. Well, different parts, but based out of LA. And at the end, the dude who created Keep It 100, Butter, he asked anyone, do you have anything to announce, anything that you got going on? And one day, people were saying, I work out on Wednesdays if anyone wants to come out and join. Other people said different things. And I just decided to give people some words of affirmation. Sorry, my phone is acting crazy right now.
No, you're fine.
I decided to give people some words of affirmation, and after that first time, people really enjoyed it, and now it's kind of become a thing. Like people look forward to coming to run and also hearing what affirmations I have for them at the end of the run.
Sorry.
God bless you.
Thank you. Okay, so you're like the wrap up at the end of the run.
Yes, I guess you can say that.
That's so cool. That's so interesting how like everything is just falling into place for you in life. Do you find that it's always been this way, or is this kind of like this is the climb, this is the uphill climb for you?
Uh, Life has always been interesting, and I think we're all challenged in different ways. Uh, I would more so say the seeds are starting to sprout more rapidly. I feel like I've always lived a life where the people around me and older than me told me that I was special, told me that I was always going to do great things, but I had a lot of learning to do and a lot of unlearning. So I feel as though to truly get to know me now, you had to know the things that I had to unlearn. Whether that was different ideas as far as what integrity is, whether that was false perception of what confidence and love is, these different things. I had to unlearn a lot of things to get to this person that a lot of people is experiencing today. And with all of that, I know that the more and more I add value to myself, I'm only going to attract what's already mine. So it's put me in a pretty blissful space. Like I don't overthink things. I don't force things. I like to just go with the flow. I smile as much as I can and I take it from there.
Okay. Cool, cool. Okay, so some learning that I would like to ask you. What's the difference between preference and objective?
Oh, the difference between preference and objective, preference is something that you prefer. For example, I experience preference versus objective a lot out here. For example, when I first touched down, my living situation fell through. So though I would have preferred to stay in the crib, my objective was to make sure that my seeds sprout out here. So I made sure that even though I had to sleep in my car a little bit, I was still focused on the objective. And even the house that I was staying at, the hot water was off. And I remember having to warm up water in the microwave so I didn't have to take a cold shower. So the preference would have been to have a nice, luxurious or whatever shower. But the objective was to make sure that I got clean. So I made sure that I made it happen in the most comfortable way. So that's what preference versus objective means to me. Preference can be anything. We can all have our preferences. But what's the overall objective and how do you plan on getting there?
Yeah, that makes sense. That makes so much sense. Okay, so how do we get rid of what if?
You get rid of what if by getting out of your own way. To me, what ifs is just throwing darts up in the sky. So you can throw what ifs, darts up in the sky, or you can have deliberate focus towards whatever it is that you're trying to do. Because people can say, what if I don't make it? What if this happens? What if that happens? As opposed to affirming, I'm excited that this is about to happen. I'm excited that I'm creating space for what's already mine. That's the difference between what ifs versus just telling yourself you're going to get what's already yours. Back to what I was saying earlier, I do not overthink anything. I allow people to reveal their intentions, reveal what they truly want, and I listen with my eyes. Like I watch action. I'm a firm people watching. So though I can be soft spoken and not speak as much as I used to, as far as in social settings, I'm very observative. Very observative. So I just take it from there. So back to what I was saying as far as what ifs have no space or relevance in my personal life because I'm so action driven and result driven in an optimistic slash confident way.
Word. Word, word, word. Okay, so going back to college, you are involved in a fraternity.
Yes, Omega Psi Phi Fraternity Incorporated.
Yes. Can you talk to us about the history of stepping?
The history of stepping.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, the history of stepping goes back very far. That like when it comes to the divine nine, we're deeply rooted in Africa, so that's where a lot of the stepping and thing came from. And then most of our organizations in the divine nine, we started from just wanting the greatest group of thinkers on a fraternity and sorority slash to help impact our communities. So when it came to the stepping aspect, that was more so to enhance the social and intellectual aspect of college life amongst our community. Because a lot of times, even when people were going to these predominantly white institutions or things like that, they could barely step off of campus because of the prejudice, the prejudiced people in those communities. So it's more so, how can I dump as much knowledge into these undergrads and graduates so that they can take it back to their communities and uplift the vibrations out there. So when it came to stepping, stomping, things like that, that was more so to develop more confidence within your organization, show pride, but also to, show others and kind of recruit on campus and show people like, look, this is what community brotherhood / sisterhood looks like.
So, so now, presidents, do you think that Greek life has a relevancy now, present tense 2021,
Absolutely.
on campus?
Absolutely. What I'm noticing now, because I've been in a fraternity for about 10 years, what I'm noticing when I joined, it was,
Are we the same age?
I don't know, I'm 29.
Oh, you're a baby.
Oh, yeah, I guess I'm a baby. So, so what I'm noticing though on college campuses, or even when I joined, I saw a group of black men who can go from partying one day and then the next day being shirt and ties. And that was something that I never really saw up close like that. And fraternities and sororities serve as a great mental health aspect for a lot of like people transitioning into them, because a lot of them haven't been around community in that magnitude before. A lot of
Mm.
fraternities and sororities, you do have GPA minimums, you have library hours, you have all these different things that can help people hold themselves accountable for their scholastics. So yes, I do believe fraternity and sorority life is still very prevalent today.
Hmm. I never really considered that. Interesting, interesting. Okay. So you're also religious or spiritual, forgive me.
Yes. Sorry, I just had to turn on the light.
Oh, you're
What's going on?
fine. What do you think, if there is even, is the difference between prayer and meditation?
um, to me, the difference between prayer and meditation, prayer, you're praying to, let's say, like the highest power of whatever it is that you might believe in. So when it comes to meditation, I guess they can be synonymous. Meditation to me is more so you getting right internally and focus more so on the light within you. That's
Yeah.
that's how I personally view it. Because I meditate and I pray. When I'm meditating, I'm more so centering myself and asking myself, what kind of day do I want? When I'm praying, I'm more so asking, like, yo, God, what's good? We about to have a good day, right? You feel me? Make sure you hold it down for my peoples over there, my people. So that's how I viewed it too.
So so we should use meditation as a way to strengthen the relationship within yourself, and use prayer as a way to.
They go hand. They honestly can go hand in hand. It depends what it is and how the person utilizes it. Because if I'm using meditation to make sure that I'm centered, that's more so me making sure that I'm centered so that my light can shine with the people that I come in contact with. When it comes to prayer, it's more so, yo, I'm giving gratitude. Then you can give your body gratitude and give God gratitude based on what you believe. Like you can give them both gratitude, and it's all about giving to others. Like the light that you have is like you're supposed to share it. So if you're using
Mhm.
meditation because of everything that you had going on throughout that day, you're trying to get your juju and your powers back. And when it comes to prayer, it's like the higher power, like thank you for my elbows. Thank you for me being able to reach out and extend and grab the things that are already mine. So that's just my perspective on it. My bad. I just got off work. I'm all tripping over my words.
No, no, you're fine. You're fine. No, you're fine. It's just been something that's been on my mind a lot lately. I'm trying to like make sense of it, you know.
Yeah, and
Um,
everyone can believe what they want to believe. Just take the time to just be present with yourself, and I believe that all the answers will come to you.
I hope so. So, was the plague necessary
Was the
in the Bible?
was who?
Was the plague necessary? Was it the seven plagues when in Moses' story?
Um, I'm not sure.
So, so follow-up question to that. The reason why I asked that is, um, the play comes off as evil, trying to get rid of the firstborn sons,
Okay.
right? So trying to relate that to the coronavirus, is the coronavirus necessary in order to help reduce the population?
Oh, I haven't done much thought into that. When I think about the coronavirus, I more so view it as definitely a pandemic, but I use that time to honestly elevate in my solitude. Like when different things happen, I'm not much. I don't really dive deep into social media and different things on TV that ignite fear into people or try to use fear to make you do certain things. I'm more so focused my energy inwardly, like how can I continue to add value to myself so I can be of service to the people and service to the world. So to me, Corona was another and a more amplified obstacle that we've all had to learn to adapt to slash overcome. But I didn't look at it in the world perspective. I didn't. I just more so said, how can I make sure that I continue to shine my light?
Mm, true, 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 true. Okay, so insanity, right? Einstein probably didn't say this, but like he's known for saying this, that insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results,
Right.
right? But doesn't that kind of make humanity a bit insane? Because if you really think about it, like humans are erratic and unpredictable, like the universe, like it's kind of chaotic. So isn't it a bit insane that we're doing the same thing over and over again, or is there a kind of like a positive light that we can think out of this?
I've heard that phrase before, doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result. I mean, that's a double-edged sword because if you're continuously asking yourself why you keep ending up in certain situations, but you're not changing the people who you're attracting or changing things within, then that can be labeled as insanity because you want these things to change, but you're not changing yourself. On the flip side, you can be continuously doing the same thing over and over again as far as adding value to yourself, but you're getting the results that you want. You're getting the light and the abundance. So that's why I said it's a double-edged sword. It's more so what you choose to be consistent with.
Mm,
That's why when I hear that quote, I think of consistency. Do you want things to consistently pour into you or things to consistently take away? That's my perspective on it because I've heard that quote multiple times. I've even used that quote. But now I'm in the space now, I'm always focused inwardly. I'm always focused on accountability. How can I get out of this situation or into this situation? How did I get here? What can I do to improve on this so that I can help others? I always bring it to
mm,
the center. I never really focus outwardly.
that makes sense. That makes sense. Thank you. Thank you so much for that. Okay, so where can we like you, stalk you, follow you, all that fun stuff?
Oh, y'all can follow me. It's Chef underscore Beanz, Beanz, on Twitter, Instagram. I have YouTube now where I'm dropping videos every day because I'm trying to just tap into different markets. And of course, like I said on Instagram, Chef Beanz, pretty chill dude. I mean, yeah, that's where you. Oh, and my website is www.chefbeans.com, where you can find all this good Be Intentional merch. I just dropped the pre-sale to my book, Chef Beans Recipe to a Woman's Heart. It's up and it's stuck. It's lit. I'm just excited and happy to.
How long did it take you to write that?
The idea was planted in 2016. Once I really focused in on it, I would say about a year. About a year.
Did you do like write a chapter a day?
Not a chapter a day. I kept starting over. So I would get like 30%
Mm.
and just be like, nah, let me start over. Let me redirect that. Get like 80% done. I'm like, that's dumb. I have to actually sat with myself and ask myself, why do you keep running into these roadblocks? It's not flowing. Do things that actually makes you feel like things that sound like you. Once I did that, I was able to go top to bottom, get someone to proofread it, and now it's currently being printed up, and I can't wait to give it to the people who are already proofs. And it's not too late to pre-sale either. Just letting y'all know, if y'all want to buy the recipe to a woman's heart, you feel me? Go to that link, www.chefbeans.com, link in the bio. But it's I'm just grateful. I'm extremely grateful. That was one of the biggest challenges of my life because anybody can say, "Oh, I want to write a book," until you actually sit down, and be like, "Damn, like, how am I gonna write this?" What? And once I got into that flow and I figured it out, I learned how to get out my own way.
And then did you plug your Twitter?
Yes, it's the same thing as my Instagram, chef_Beanz, but that's with a Z, not an S.
You post some like really really deep quotes on Twitter.
Thank you, thank you. You know what's interesting about me? What I realized, I'm usually just talking to myself.
Mm.
So when I'm saying things like, I don't know who needs to hear this, but blah, 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 I'm who needs to hear it. Or when I say, yo, I don't know who needs to hear this, but stop going to sleep with dishes in your sink. That night, I almost went to sleep with dishes in my sink because I've simplified my life to the point where if I'm always growing and I always need to hear certain lessons, when the lessons come to me, I type them down. I talk to myself. My morning affirmations are me talking to myself. Everything that I post is me talking to myself. Everyone else gets hit in crossfire.
Mm.
That's how I operate. That's how I operate. I'm just always talking to myself, asking myself, what do I need to get through the day?
Okay. And then final question.
Okay.
What's a successful day look like to you?
A successful day look like to me, giving the world the best version of myself. That's the simple answer. A more direct answer is I create a to-do list the night before as far as the things that I need to do the next day. So a successful day is me going throughout that to-do list. And even if I don't check off each one of those boxes, I'm a step closer towards whatever it is that I'm trying to accomplish. Because I post that every day. What does a successful day look like for me? Because next is going to be, what does a successful day look like for me tomorrow? So people can be more proactive. So there's intention attached to everything that I do. And I just don't overthink things. I'm completely comfortable with actively pushing the button.
Ooh, something just happened to my heart. Whoa, when you said that.
Oh, nice, nice. I'm happy that I hope it was something good
Wow.
into your heart.
Me too. I hope it was a good Well, thank you so much for your time, Chef. I'm definitely gonna rewatch this video and take lots of notes
Right.
because I think that I'm a professional overthinker,
Yeah.
and like I feel like you just like nailed it. Just
Yeah, don't overthink it. I used to be a huge overthinker until I realized that I'm more effective in my life when I don't overthink. Because most times when we overthink, then the situation happens and it works out in our favor. We always tell ourselves, wow, I can't believe I was overthinking. And I'm
yeah,
a firm believer at things happening, regardless how they're going to happen the way that they're supposed to. So why overthink? Just put your best foot forward, and the result is going to be the result. You just got to get real good at adapting and pivoting. But I don't overthink things. I let things be what they're going to be. I breathe, I exhale, then I'm like, okay, cool, and pivot. I just pivot.
thank you so much for your time, Chef. This was very rewarding and very fulfilling. Thank you so much.
No, thank you. I thoroughly appreciate you reaching out. And yeah, Chef Beanz intentional consumption. Make sure y'all all add intent to everything that y'all do.
Yes, you enjoy the rest of your evening. I hope you can rest or eat or do your dishes.
You know, thank you so much.
All right, bye.
Bye.